Hey everybody, how you doing? I just want to take a few minutes to say hello, give you a little update on this week. Um, it's been, I know, a crazy week for me, trying to make sure everyone's set up and squared away on Google Classroom. For the first time this week, I've really been assigning work in Google Classroom, and hopefully you have not had a problem accessing it and completing that work and then turning it in. I want to remind all of you that when you are um, completing an assignment in Google Classroom, um, and you're like working in a document, I want you to make sure that you click on that turn in button in the top right. There are a few people who it's showing as having not turned it in, but then when I look, they've done the work, they never turned it in. So just make sure you're doing that. There's a few things I wanted to talk to you about. One, I really miss you. So it sounds like everyone's still healthy, which I'm really happy to hear. I hope you're all doing well. Um, I hope your families are doing well. Know that I'm thinking about each of you each day. So I want to thank everyone for the hard work that they put in this week. I know a lot of you worked really hard, and I know this has been a big change for a lot of us. And that all of this is happening at a time that might be scary for you, at a time that might be boring for you. I know my daughter tells me at least once a day how boring it is to be home all the time. So if you're feeling like that, I understand. If you're feeling worried or scared because of what's happening in the outside world right now, I understand that as well. All right. So just continue to stay close to your family and continue to keep in touch with me because uh, I really want you all to know that I'm thinking of you and that I'm here ready to help you in whatever way you need. Um, so, a couple more things I want to get to. So, Google Classroom, I want to remind you that you should be checking Google Classroom every day. Every morning, I will be posting your your work for the day in Google Classroom. Okay. Um, if you log on in the morning and you don't see it, then just come back a little bit later and look for it. I would say that most days it'll be posted between 8 and 9 o'clock. Sometimes, if there is, if I'm having some technology issues that I have to resolve, it might be a little bit later. I think today it was a little bit after 9 o'clock, but that happens. Please be patient with me. A lot of what we're trying to do is new and different, and I'm learning along with you. Um, in Google Classroom, you're going to see that it's not just me as a teacher in there posting things. Some of your special area teachers are in there. My friend Mr. Carrera is in there posting some math things to help people. So even if you don't typically go to Mr. Carrera, though, what he posts in there is stuff that you can use to help you as well. In addition to that, you're going to see our student teacher, Ms. Como. She's going to be posting in there. And you're going to see our student observer, Ms. McCarran, who you've all met in person. You're going to see her posting in there as well. So there'll be a lot of teachers in there, but you can look for the work that I'm going to post each day. Okay. Next week, there's a few important new things coming up next week. The first is I'm excited to announce we're going to have a long-term project that we're starting next week. And when I say long-term, it's going to be about 8 weeks. You'll get more details on it next week, and I'm going to make a whole video to explain it to you. But it's going to be about an 8 week long project. By the end, you're going to be presenting something. Now, if we're still home in 8 weeks, then you're going to be presenting in a way from home. And we'll talk when we get to that point about what some of those options are. Hopefully, we'll be in school in 8 weeks and you'll be able to present what you've learned in person to the class. Um, Okay. You also next week, I'm going to go over some of the math that I assigned this week. I'm going to introduce some new topics next week. And then you're very likely at the end of next week going to be doing like a math quiz of some sort. I'm still trying to figure out right now ways that I can give you quizzes and tests, online over this distance that we have. But I would expect that by the end of next week, we will have a way that we can try it out. And so as I develop and figure out what that way is, I'll make a video for you explaining how it's going to go. And again, I'll say this: if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to me or have your parents reach out to me. I'm here to help. A few people have wondered the last few days where the coronavirus journal went. I didn't like the format. So I'm in the process of reformatting that, and that's going to return next week in a little bit of a different style. We're going to be working on some literary essays next week. I know when I say the word essay, you're all cringing and groaning. The nice thing about this is I don't hear that right now. So you are going to work on your literary essays next week. So we'll get into that. We're going to be reading a really good book called Fox. It's a picture book. We're going to be reading that, and you will be then doing some writing around that. Okay. I want to remind you that we have a class website. I'm going to post the link to it in our Google Classroom as soon as I finish this video. And I want you to use that website. There will be updates and resources on the website, resources for you to use, including on the resources page, there's a form that I'm calling the extra help form. And what I want you to do is think of it like raising your hand. In class, if there's something you don't know, you can raise your hand, okay? And myself or Miss Donna comes over to you to try and help you. Or in math, you know how sometimes we'll have the little groups at the front of the room where I'll say, listen, anyone who doesn't understand it, come on up and we'll work together, right? Well, we can't do that over a distance like we have right now. So this form is going to be your way to get my attention and to get my help. You're going to fill out the form as detailed as possible, so I know what it is that you need help with, and then I'll try and make something to reach out to you with to help you through whatever it is that you're struggling with. Some of you I've called your homes this week, and a couple of you I got to say hello to. I enjoyed that. Joey, you were a lot quieter on the phone than you are in classroom. I'm just going to come right out and say that. But if you did not hear from me, you'll be hearing from me at the beginning of next week, probably, or tomorrow. I'm going to be calling everyone's house once a week, okay? Because I want to check in with you. I want to make sure that you're doing okay. I want to make sure that if you have any questions, that I can answer them for you. And just because I want to be able to hear from you. And I want to stress that point. I want to hear from you. I want to know how you're doing. I want to know what interesting things you're doing. In class, how everyone raises their hand and they want to tell me stories about the interesting things happening in their life. I still want to hear about those things. So feel free to write about them in Google Classroom. Feel free to jump on the phone when I call your parents. Feel free to make a video clip that you can post in Google Classroom. Any of those things are fine, okay? I definitely want to hear from you. We have a really awesome class, and I miss getting to spend the school day with you. And the last thing I'm going to throw out is I appreciate everyone who participated in Spirit Week this week. We still have another day left tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sports Day, I think. So make sure, if you want to participate in that, you do. And I'm also looking for some more fun ideas. I know we won't make every week a Spirit Week, but let's find some more fun things to do. I'm totally open to suggestions. So if you have suggestions, please, please drop them in Google Classroom, or please message me and let me know, because I want to. Just because we're home and we're not together doesn't mean we can't have a little bit of fun. Okay. So anyway, it was good to talk to you. I hope everyone's well, and I will speak to you again next week with another update.